Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Let's get right into it. Here I have a block of tofu. I'm just going to wrap it with some paper towel and a brick to weigh it down. What this does is it releases a lot of the liquid, and after about 10 minutes I'm going to remove the paper towel, and I'm only going to use about a third of this tofu. And I'm just going to wrap the remainder tofu in a plastic wrap for a later use and refrigerate it. So here I have about 4 ounces of tofu, and I'm just going to crumble it using my fingers. In my opinion, this is the best way to introduce tofu for yourself or your kids, because now I'm going to cook it with some rice, as you'll see here soon, and you won't really be able to taste the tofu as much. So now I'm going to add some oil to my pan and cook my turkey bacon. I like to use a little bit of oil because turkey bacon doesn't really have any grease to it. If you're using pork or beef, you may not need the oil, so you're just going to cook your bacon to your liking and remove it from the pan. Into the same pan, I'm going to add my crumbled tofu, season it with salt and pepper, and I'm just going to cook this for about 4 minutes until it kind of browned a little bit. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of rice, cooked rice, and this rice is pretty cold. And we're just going to add a little bit of soy sauce and sesame oil and just cook it until the rice is warm through. And if you eat tofu this way, you don't really taste it as much like if you were to eat it whole. And I'm just going to remove it to a plate and add a little bit more oil and cook my egg. I cooked mine for like 4 minutes and I didn't flip it because I wanted the yolk whole. To assemble, I'm just going to add my rice into the bowl. It looks like a lot of rice, but I don't even think it was a full cup. It's because of the tofu that's in there. And I'm going to sprinkle some rice seasoning or furikake, and then the egg, the bacon, and my avocado. And this was such a filling, delicious breakfast. And you can have fun with this. Add whatever that you want. Into my smoothies, I'm going to add about a cup of milk, a serving of protein powder, 3/4 cups of frozen strawberries, a 1/2 cup of frozen peaches, a banana, 1 small date, and that is it. I'm going to blend this until it is smooth. And here's my smoothie today. I added a fresh strawberry just to make it look pretty. For lunch, I am making tom yum soup. Let me preface this by saying this is not an authentic or traditional way of making tom yum soup. This is just a quick way of doing it with using whatever ingredients that I had on hand. So I added a little bit of coconut oil and some tom yum paste. And really the amount depends on how spicy you want it. I think I put about 2 tablespoons in there, and I also added some lemongrass, galangal, and some burst chilies, and I'm going to just cook this with about 4 cups of water and some lime peel, fish sauce, and let this boil for a second before adding that shrimp in there. After adding the shrimp, I added some sliced onion and some seafood mushroom that I found at an Asian grocery store, but you can add whatever mushroom that you have. Cook this for about 6 minutes, and then you're going to add some tomato wedges and cook for another minute. And now just add everything to your bowl and garnish with cilantro, a squeeze of lime, and some more chili peppers. And that is it. It was a light lunch because I was still full from breakfast and my smoothies, but this was satisfying. For dinner, I made Taiwanese spaghetti, one of our favorites here. I'm going to link the recipe in the description box below, but it is from a website called Steamy Kitchen. And a couple of things that I changed. I use ground chicken and I doubled the broth because I doubled the meat. And we just like ours a little bit more saucy. So you just saw me make the sauce. It has Chinese black vinegar, soy sauce, a regular soy sauce, 5 spice powder, and some brown sugar. And now I'm just sauteing some onion, letting this cook for about 4 to 5 minutes, and then adding some chopped mushroom. Let this cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. And now I added about 2 pounds of ground chicken, breaking it up as I go. I'm going to cook this until it is no longer pink. Then I'm going to add some garlic, let this cook for a little bit longer. And then I added some peas. This one is not in a recipe, but I added in there because it kind of looks pretty and I just wanted some peas. Then I added the sauce, and I'm just going to cook this for another 5 minutes or so, and you are pretty much done. And I like how saucy this is. If you don't like it too saucy, then use less sauce. You guys, this dessert was so good. My family has asked me to make it twice already this week. Like any good dessert, it always starts off with a block of cream cheese, right? And then some lemon zest, some sugar, and vanilla extract. I've seen so many of these recipes on Pinterest. I'm not really sure who made it first, but I'm going to link a website in the description box where it's very similar to the ones that I made. So here I have some fresh blueberries, and I'm adding a squeeze of lemon and adding 2 tablespoons of sugar, giving this a little toss. Here I have 1 sheet of puff pastry that has been thawed, and I'm just going to lay it out on a parchment lined baking sheet. And then I'm going to cut this into 6. I should have doubled this because my family loved it so much. So, and then we're just going to separate it, maybe giving them about an inch space between each rectangle. Now with a paring knife, lightly score a border around the entire edge of each pastry rectangle, about a ½ an inch away from the edge. And now using a fork, poke a few holes into the center area of each pastry. This allows the outside border to rise and puff up while the center stays lower and holds the filling. And now I'm just adding about a tablespoon or so of the cream cheese mixture, and I'm spreading it with a knife. Next, I'm going to add about a heaping tablespoon of the blueberries on top of the cream cheese. And now I'm just brushing a thin layer of some egg wash to the outside border of each pastry. It's just an egg and some water. And we're going to bake this in the oven at 400 for about 16 to 18 minutes. While the pastries are in the oven, I made a glaze. Here I just have a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk, and a little bit of vanilla extract. Give this a good whisk. And this is what they look like when they came out of the oven. And now I'm just going to drizzle the icing right on top of it. By the way, I didn't make this after dinner. I made it in the afternoon because I thought that I would save them for dinner, but everyone loved it and they ate it before dinner. And so we really didn't have much left for dessert after dinner, but that's okay. I'm going to make this a few more times this week. I might tweak it and add different ingredients in here or different fruits. I will let you guys know, but so far the blueberries are just delicious. And there you have it, guys, what I eat in a day. And you see, I took a bite. I forgot to take a picture. Anyway, okay, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye.